Mark chapter 1 verse 36 states, "And Simon and those who were with him searched for him." This verse, though seemingly simple, holds a profound lesson for every believer. It presents a moment where the disciples, particularly Simon Peter, realize that Jesus is not among them. They are actively seeking him, driven by a need to be near him, to understand him, and to follow his lead. In the context of Mark's Gospel, this search happens after Jesus has withdrawn to a solitary place to pray. The Son of God, in his perfect humanity, sought communion with the Father, setting an example for us of the necessity of prayer. Yet, the disciples' search reflects a spiritual truth that is often overlooked: our need to continually seek the presence of Christ in our lives. This searching is not a one-time event. It is not merely about finding Jesus once and then continuing on our way. The disciples had been with him, witnessed his miracles, heard his teaching, yet they still needed to seek him. How much more must we, in our daily lives, pursue the presence of Christ? The psalmist declares in Psalm chapter 63 verse 1, "O God, you are my God. Early will I seek you. My soul thirsts for you. My flesh longs for you, in a dry and thirsty land where there is no water." This hunger for God is not quenched by a single encounter. It is a lifelong pursuit. The urgency of their search also reveals the disciples' recognition that without Jesus, they were lost. We must ask ourselves, do we have the same urgency? Do we recognize that without Christ, we can do nothing, as stated in John chapter 15 verse 5. The disciples were desperate to be in the presence of their Lord, not just to follow him physically, but because they understood that their purpose, their very identity, was found in him. Furthermore, this verse challenges us to examine where we are searching for Jesus. Are we looking for him in the noise and distractions of the world? Or are we seeking him in the quiet places of prayer and the study of his word? The disciples found Jesus alone in prayer, a reminder that true communion with God is often found in solitude, away from the crowds and the clamor. This passage also subtly underscores the sovereignty of God in our pursuit of him. While the disciples searched for Jesus, it is important to remember that they were drawn to seek him because he first chose them. As seen in John chapter 15 verse 16, "You did not choose me, but I chose you, and appointed you that you should go and bear fruit." Their search is a response to his divine initiative. Mark chapter 1 verse 36 is a call to every believer to pursue Christ with urgency and devotion. It is a reminder that our relationship with him is not passive, but active, requiring us to continually seek his presence. Let us be found, like Simon and those with him, constantly searching for our Lord, knowing that in him alone do we find life, purpose, and peace.